Dear friends, today we will see SQL. Students, you very well know what is SQL, that is a structured query language, and you also seen lots of queries or execute lots of queries in database management system. You also know that what are the traditional drawbacks or how that SQL is overcome on the traditional databases. For example, the traditional databases are Notepad, Excel sheet. In that Notepad or Excel sheet or old database systems, that old database systems does not stores multimedia data, graphical data, audio data, or it is not easy to save that data into the traditional, that is Notepad or Excel sheet. It is not possible to store in it. But students, these are the disadvantages of that specific traditional databases. Also, there are many more disadvantages. For example, redundancy problem, uh, integrity constraints problem, etc., etc., as well as the permission problem, authentication problem. Okay, but when you studied database management system, you will know that how the SQL works, how we have to write the data, how we have to access the data, how we have to manage that data as per their tables, how we have to collect that data into the particular databases or into the particular database, how we have to manage or collect all the databases as per their schema at the specific location. That is what the SQL students. So in that PLSQL, we see number of queries from starting from create table, create schema. So students, first of all, what is meant by schema? Schema is nothing but the structure of a table. In the structure of table, we know that there are number of fields. Each and every field has its data type. That also consists number of constraints. For example, primary key, foreign key. That also consists default, null, as well as not null values. So these all those things or that all those things are the constraints of that particular table. So we have to create column name, constraints, data type, and etc., which will be related with the table by using schema. So schema is nothing but the structure of the table. So like SQL, the PgSQL or PLSQL is work. So it is a procedural programming language supported by PostgreSQL, ORDBMS. Students, you also very well know what is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Means that will be relate the data with the other data or the table with the other table. That is what the relational database management system. After study of that specific PPTs or whatever you have to study from that lecture, I request to all of you to execute your queries on multiple tables, to write nested query also, query in query. So students, if you practice that specific queries, you will execute or you will find the specific databases from multiple tables, not one, not two, more than two also. It is possible. So that PLSQL is same as, or that PostgreSQL is same as Oracle's PLSQL language that will be implemented by Jan Wick. First rapid version is PostgreSQL, that is PgSQL 6.4, released on October 30, 1998. Friends, if you install PostgreSQL on your computer, you have to open it from program files. In that program file, one tab is open, that is called as, or select, that is what PostgreSQL. If you install 9.2, that is 9.2, and after that you select SQL cell or PSQL. That's it. So after open it, or if you want list of commands, you will type on that particular Postgres. You type /help, you get the list of commands or the information about that specific command. That's it. Students, first query is create table. So as per our discussion, here we have to define the schema of the new table which will be create in the database or given database. So here the syntax is very simple, like the SQL syntax you have already seen in database management system. So here the create table name, for example, if you give, or if you give the name of that table is employee, so create table employee, open bracket, column name, its data type, column name, another second column name, data type. Up to that you have to define n number of columns with their data type, and at last if you define the primary key constraint on one or more columns, you also define it in the create table. So on next line, primary key and the column name. If you refer column name 1, so primary key in bracket column name 1. If you refer two columns, that is column name 1 and column name 2, you have to given here column name 1 comma column name 2. After writing this, close bracket and semicolon. This is very simple syntax of create table. So friends, this is our next slide, create table company. Here we have to create the schema for company, and that specific company have five fields. First one is ID field, its data type is integer. The constant on that ID field is ID field of that particular company table is primary key, and it is not null. You very well know that in database management system the primary key of the table doesn't null. It is a unique key. It does not consist any null value. So this is the first field. Second field, the name you provide, their data type is text, and that is also not null. The third field is age, means ID, name, age, address, and salary. These are the field names of a company table. Primary key, text, int, character 50, and real. These are the data types. And last one is not null, null. These are the constants. So here we will take a simple example. Also, second example number 2. Create table department. Here we have to create the table, and that consists department that consists three fields. First one is ID. The its data type is integer. It is also primary key and not null. Second one is department. It have a 50 characters. So character 50 we have to provide up to 50 characters only for the department. Not more than that. Means what, we do not provide here 51 characters or so. Not null.